is time for another G.I. Joe toy review. And today we're going to be looking at a not so popular figure amongst collectors. Oh, I'm, about this one too. I like him because of his job, but, I didn't play with him all that much. Of course, I was a little bit older and starting to phase out of toys. Bicycles, BB guns, and fishing were my go-to pastimes with my neighbors. So let's go ahead and take a look at Sci-Fi version 1. He hit the shelves in 1987. He was there from 88, and he was discontinued in 1989. He has a very interesting card variant that you don't see often in figures this late in the series. So let me go ahead and pull that up for you. The variant that I was referring to on the file card was the back, where it shows coming soon. That is something you didn't see later in the series. Those were generally reserved for the first run, and they were getting ready to release figures. And so it was something to create anticipation. So that file card is actually pretty rare to come across, at least from what I could determine. I've never seen it before, for one, and for another, I scoured eBay and could not find it. So it is, I would say, rare in my opinion. His original retail price was $2.29. I did have this one as a kid. In fact, this is my childhood sci-fi. He does hold some good memories for me. I actually remember buying him. I was doing landscaping for an older lady when I was in junior high. I get paid $10 a week to go and mow her lawn. So after mowing her lawn, she lived near an outlet mall called VF Factory Outlet, standing for Vanity Fair. It was a discount mall. It was full of several discount stores, one of which was a KB discount or KB outlet store, where they would sell their discontinued toys. And I picked up a lot of my Joes there. And I went by there, and with the $10 burning a hole in my pocket, I picked up Sci-Fi that day. I thought he was pretty cool. I liked the bright green shirt that he was wearing. And my main decision was that he was an officer. He's a second lieutenant, and I did not have very many officers at that time. In fact, I don't think I had any. So he sort of took over command. But I was 14 at the time, so I wouldn't really play with them all that much. If I did, it was with my brother, my little brother, or some younger friends that we would play together. But that's probably why I still have all of his accessories. But yeah, those are my memories of him. Yeah, he's okay. He's an okay figure. So let's go ahead and take a look at this action figure. All right, so Sci-Fi, or Psyche-Out, I apologize. He was right at 87 when things started getting weird for G.I. Joe. Weird meaning they were leaning more towards the science fiction element of G.I. Joe Cobra Law was just come out, Globulus and Nemesis Enforcer and a Royal Guard and a G.I. Joe movie. And that period really soured a lot of serious Joe collectors who liked the military aspect of G.I. Joe. And for me, I'm one of those that like the movie. It is pretty good. Burgess Meredith voiced Globulus, and I like Burgess Meredith. He did Mickey, the role of Mickey and Rocky, very well. He was the Penguin in the original Batman series. So I grew up with Burgess Meredith. So here we go. Let's go ahead and take a look at this figure. His accessories are quite interesting. He is the psychological or deceptive warfare specialist. Big problem with one of his accessories. These little radar dishes don't like to stay on his wrist or stay together. So it came with a pair of these wrist dishes. They're very interesting looking. They're radar-esque type dishes. Bright red, and have these silver soft plastic wrist cuffs that clip onto his wrists. When my big fingers are hard to hold on to. He came with this, what's described as a box with said radar dish on it. This box is pretty cool. I like it. It has some machinery here on the sides. Those look like two antennae there on the sides and a dial here on the back. There we go. A dial here on the back. Made out of that same silver plastic. The handle is kind of thick, so I'm not going to force it into his hand. He also came with this gray backpack. These antennae do remove. I didn't know that until I saw some on the aftermarket that were missing. So I've never taken those out. It's a really cool backpack. Kind of looks like an alien head, the nose and the arms sticking up. Great looking backpack, as backpacks go. He came with a generic pistol. Nothing real great about this. Kind of lazily made. Doesn't have a trigger guard, so that's kind of dangerous. Trigger guard is there for one purpose, to guard the trigger, so you don't accidentally set it off. Here on Sci-Fi, on his left arm, he has his unit patch. Wearing this lime green shirt, which I really like. I like the lime green. Just the whole color scheme on this guy works. It has the lime green. He has this silver, whatever you want to call it, on the front. Some armor. He has a silver holster. And this shirt is kind of textured. It's a quilted type shirt. Why he wears lime green is beyond me, but we were getting into the weirdness, remember. And the red straps continue along the back, and he has a black strap, which I'm sure holds on to this apparatus, whatever it is. And this green shirt is covering up a long sleeve gray shirt. He has these buttons, I guess, on his sleeves. I use those as communication type devices. He has these really cool black gloves. I like when they put gloves on characters. A black belt, a web belt with pouches on it. That goes all the way around. Dark gray or a charcoal gray pair of pants, trousers. He has a stiletto on the side and a pocket on the other. They did some very nice molding on here, some nice sculpting for his pants, make them wrinkled. They're bloused in these black combat boots. Now, getting up to the top of sci-fi, he has this very stern look on his face, or Psyche-Out, I'm sorry, Psyche-Out. It keeps common mistake. He has this very stern look on his face, brown eyebrows, he has platinum blonde hair, and around the back he has this weird communications device, kind of reminds me of Lobot from Return of the Jedi or Empire Strikes Back. He has this antenna on the back of his head which does come out. I'm not taking it out because I'm afraid I would not get it back in. But that is commonly missing on the figure, and it leaves a big hole in the back of his head. So kind of weird. Let me try to take it out. Okay, I took it out just for you guys. Yeah, huge hole in the back of his head. Looks like, I can see it glistening a little bit. It looks like there was some glue residue in there, so it might not have been designed to be taken out, but they didn't paint the inside of it. So just looking at the antenna itself, made out of the same silver plastic, has these little ridges on the back. Of course, it pegs right into the back of his head. So look for that on the aftermarket. It's pretty pronounced. I haven't seen any for sale, but it's pretty pronounced on the figure. But if you don't really know what to look for, you might overlook it. So if you see him with the hole in the back of his head, he's missing his antenna. But my favorite part is this lime green shirt. It is really cool. Later on, he was released with Night Force. Let me try to pull that figure out for you. So he was released with Night Force, and they improved on the colors, but for some reason they painted his hair brown. What does your hair have to do with your camouflage? And then the UK version was Tiger Force. Then you can see that big difference with this guy. The accessories stayed the same, but they changed the figure color. So let's go ahead and take a look at his file card. You can see it was clipped off the back of the card. A good shot of the quote-unquote box. And this is what he would have looked like on the front of the card. Again, a very serious look on his face. It says codename Psyche-Out, Deceptive Warfare. File name Rich Kenneth D. Serial number 091876274. Primary military specialty PsyOps, so psychological warfare. Secondary military specialty social service counselor. He goes from messing with the enemy's mind to helping people with psychological concerns. His birthplace was San Francisco, California. He is a grade 02. He's first lieutenant, almost captain. The middle paragraph reads, Psyche-Out got his degree in psychology from Berkeley and worked on various research projects involving the inducement of paranoia by means of low-frequency radio waves. Upon his enlistment, he was posted to the Deceptive Warfare Center at Fort Bragg, where he continued his pioneering work in the field of wave-induced behavioral modification. Now, this is something that is real. The military has found out that if you focus sound waves on people, you can make them vomit, you can make them defecate themselves, or you could make them really irritated to where they want to leave you and just go. Sound wave distortion is used on cargo ships as a means of getting rid of pirates. You could also induce headaches with the sound waves. Bottom paragraph reads in a quote, the point at which you win a battle is when you convince the enemy that he has lost. Okay. Yeah, I would say so. This can be accomplished through something as simple as constant repetition. For example, you see a commercial on TV 10 times a day for a particular brand of cookies. One day at the supermarket, you're overcome by a sudden crave for cookies. That's never happened to me. Confronted by an array of unknown brands, you choose that one that you saw advertised. They've won and you've lost. I've never been overcome by a craving for cookies walking down the aisle, and I usually shop by price. But when it comes to G.I. Joes, they definitely won that battle. Yes, the advertisers have definitely won the battle with getting me to buy G.I. Joe, Masters of the Universe, Star Wars. So, advertisement, constant repetition does work. How do we learn? We learn by repetition. The child, we start walking, we fall down, we get up. Try again. It's just by practice, by repetition. We train our bodies, we train our minds. So, Psyche-Out is a very cool character to have on your team. Cobra beat him by a few years with Dr. Mindbender, and then again with Crystal Ball, who was their hypnotist, psychological warfare at the same time. But on the battlefield, it was Psyche-Out that had the upper hand on that. Crystal Ball and Mindbender were more interrogator type people. So he's definitely an interesting character. If I had to pick any of the characters of the versions of Psyche-Out that I like, would have to be Tiger Force. I am a big Tiger Force fan. This is the only European one I have. Got really lucky in an auction to get him at a decent price. But he's always going to be my go-to, number one, version one. Just that, the lime green is a really cool color for me. What more could I say? You know, he's not my most favorite. He's sort of at the middle of the bottom of the middle, I should say, not middle of the bottom of characters. He's kind of blasé, but at the same time, he has his attributes that make him really cool. If I were a younger kid, yeah, I would have snatched him up. I would have played with him a lot, because the bright colors are very appealing to me. That's why I like, part of the reason why I like the version one of the Alley Viper. And if you guys have been following my channel, you know that I like, that I've cosplayed the Alley Viper. So, there we have it. There is Psyche-Out version 1, 2, and 3. Don't have version 4 yet with the Battle Core. So that's the beginning, the Weird of the 87 line. I will review more 87 figures down the road. I have all of them save for the Battle Armor Cobra Commander, and I'm working on getting him. A lot of those were from my childhood. So let's get into my favorite segment, Byron's Gripes. If you're looking for this dude on the aftermarket, oh yeah, you're going to find him, and you're going to find a lot of him. Wow. I had to stop looking halfway down because it was just the same thing repeated over and over and over again. The prices really don't change all that much, so I got the lowest and the highest prices as always. And for those of you just joining, I select the prices off of eBay just for the mere convenience of it. I don't do it to pick on eBay nor the sellers. They're just people out trying to make a living, and eBay is a great service. I use it quite often. Actually, that's where I get most of my Joes, is off eBay. So, yeah, I'm not the one to say, yeah, eBay stinks, because they don't. I have no reason to say that. So, here we go. If you're looking for one that's complete with a file card, $15 to $19.99. Deal of the day with this. I like the file cards. Finding the figure complete is fairly easy, but finding him incomplete is a lot more common. That's words I was groping for. Just by himself, no accessories, $1.50. But that seller wants $5.60 in shipping. It'll be about $3.28 to ship it here international or locally in the U.S. So he's trying to make a little extra money off you from shipping, and this is a disgusting trend. It's not right. If you want to sell your toy for, then sell it. Don't try to gouge us in shipping costs. I've actually bought things where the shipping was a little bit high, and I notified the sellers, like, hey, on the shipping label it showed this much, and you charged me this much before I leave you a review. Is there some way we could work this out? And they usually refund it. I haven't had one say, no, that's it, I'm not refunding you, because they want that good review. So that works if you want to do it that way. It's something that worked for me. So I'm very polite about it. So he goes from alone from $1.50 up to $9. Complete, no file card, $12 to $19.99. Okay, deal today on that one. His box that he carries with the dish on it, $2.75 to $2.95. Not bad on that. Complete with a full card back, $24.99 to $29.99. That is not bad at all. $29.99, it's a little high for me, but it's still up there with deal of the day. His card back alone with the standard card back, not the variant, that is $5.99. Not bad at all for that. His wrist dish, $4.99, $1.99 to $4.99. His gun, $6.99. It's the only one that I looked at. I'm sure there were more down the page, but it just kept on going forever. I'm sorry, guys. His backpack, $1. That seems to be standard for a backpack. But again, watch out for the antennas being missing off of that. It looks normal without the antennas. So remember the antenna on the back of his head and antennas on the backpack. Those are important things to look out for. So there you have it, guys. There is my review of Psyche-Out version 1. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. It really helps this channel out. I do greatly appreciate it. And thank you to my new subscribers. This channel would not exist without people subscribing. I would just be a guy talking to a camera about toys. And it's fun to do, but it's better with an audience. Shoot me a comment. I do answer back. I love hearing from you guys. Love hearing about your childhood, what toys you had. It's just nice to reminisce with folks and meeting people. That's my favorite part there. Thank you to my channel supporters. For those who have made donations to the channel, you guys are fantastic. Thank you so much. It has helped this channel out quite a bit. I have some very nice donations that I would not have been able to purchase on my own, just to the expense of them. So thank you guys very much. Their names are listed down in the description. And also those who have helped me out with reviews are a channel supporter as well. Doesn't necessarily have to be a monetary or a donation. Just help with a review is good enough for me. Appreciate you guys. Remember, stay safe out there, please. Keep social distancing at least 6 feet apart. Wash your hands. That's the most important thing. Wash your hands 30 seconds with soap under warm water. Scrub vigorously between the fingers, under your fingernails. When you dry your hands, fingers down, washing the water down. And it will, that way if you do it with your hands up, your hands actually stay dirty because it runs back down over your hand. You want it to go off over your fingertips. And as the clean water goes off your fingertips, it removes the dirt and down from the soap. So there you go, guys. It's important to stay safe out there. These are very interesting times that we're in right now. Very historical time. We haven't seen a pandemic since 1918. I said 1917, but it was actually 1918 when the Spanish influenza pandemic hit the United States as our soldiers were coming home. So that's a very scary time for them too, I'm sure. So you guys stay safe, stay calm, don't panic. You guys know what to do. You're smart individuals. So thank you guys very much. This is Joe Motion Videos 82 signing off. Remember, always be kind to everyone, especially now. There's no need for hoarding. People are having a rough enough time without everybody being a schmuck. So just be kind to everyone, especially be kind to animals. They know nothing but unconditional love. So we'll see you next week for another G.I. Joe toy review. Until then, stay cool, stay safe. We'll talk to you later. Bye.